Hi, I'm Patti Parker, and you are listening to My Friends in Philanthropy. Our mission is to make nonprofit stories more accessible to the people who need their services, to the volunteers who give their time, and to the donors who make it all possible. Join us as we celebrate community impact through authentic, inspiring conversations. Hey everybody, it's Patti Parker with My Friends in Philanthropy. I am so fortunate today. I am with my good friend, Cindy Parsons. She represents Wounded Warrior Project, and she, like me, she's got a personal story to tell. But last time we just kept on talking about our kids. So
We did.
we're going to try, see if we can make it. We're going to try to tell you about Wounded Warriors because that's really the whole purpose. Okay. But this is Cindy Parsons. I just told you a little brief bio, but we're going to get started, or we will sit and chat and just fall in love with each other like we already have. Okay. Cindy, hi.
Hi, good afternoon, Patty. It's so wonderful to see you and everybody that's listening. Thank you for being a part of this podcast and listening to our stories.
Yeah, it is just it's a work in process, right? It's a work in process. But
Yes.
so tell me, Cindy, tell me, who is Wounded Warrior Project?
Wounded Warrior Project was founded in 2003 in Virginia, Roanoke, Virginia. And it
Hmm.
started out as a kind of a grassroots support to some friends that visited a severely wounded warrior in a hospital. That's how it began. And they saw the need, the tremendous need of our warriors coming back who are critically wounded and trying to maneuver from the military life into the civilian world. So today, as one of the nation's leading service organization dedicated to improving the well-being of post 9/11 wounded warriors that were ill, injured, or service members and their families. Very important to know that to improve their life as they transition out of the military. Now, the programs that are initiated and they're innovative programs are life-changing. And my son is one who is particularly gone through that as well as myself. Life-changing. And what this does is it strengthens them not only mentally, but physically, emotionally, and even financial wellness to help them empower warriors and their families, our wounded warriors and their families, to thrive. Not only survive, but we've heard that word, to thrive and help them prevent veteran suicide,
Mm,
to help to help lead to prevent in every way that we can. And we help them to find that by
yeah,
finding that purpose in life. And not only that, but help build connection. Patty and I have connected, but connection, we understand connection is vital. Help them connect through their communities, through other caregivers in their families, to other warriors. That is what changes everything and
yeah.
literally saves lives.
Oh my gosh, yes. That's going to be another episode. There's some good organizations that are working in that, and it's just tragic. You hear over and over and every day, and the multitudes every day of
Yes, ma'am.
the warriors who just they can't do it anymore. They
Hmm.
can't,
Hmm.
and so they
Yes.
we lose them,
Hmm.
right?
Absolutely.
So okay, so
Absolutely.
tell me, I mean, this is a terrific project. So are you guys funded by the government?
That's a great question, Patty. Most people think we are. We are not. We do not
Okay.
take any government funding. We are a what you call a 501(c)(3) nonprofit that is all funded by donations from the great Americans across the nation.
Okay. Now, I'm a
Companies.
financial planner, so I have to ask this.
Yes,
So, is
yes.
donations? So, these are potentially tax deductible donations, right?
Absolutely correct. They are
Okay.
tax deductible, and then we provide the documentation to show that you can
Okay.
show to have it tax deducted.
Okay.
Also, all deductions are considered charitable contributions. So that's important.
Yes,
Charitable contributions for those donations. So never
right.
forget that. Never forget that.
Yeah.
Companies
Well,
can
it helps
do,
people, right? I mean, there's
yeah.
some people who, they don't care about um, the tax write-offs, but I'd say most of my clients do, right?
Yeah.
I mean, yes, they
Yes.
love you. Yes, they want to donate, but they also want to help their family, and the
Yes.
tax donations help them pay less
Yes.
taxes. So, yeah, there's also all kinds of really cool ways to work around that. Call me if you need to know. But
Oh, that's very important. Thank you for
no,
bringing that
there
up.
is. There
Yes, that's
is.
so important.
Okay, so
Patty, even with saying that, let me add something real quick. And people say,
yeah.
well, I don't know how to help. And, I don't have a lot of money. The important thing is when we teach our children what it means to give back, we've
Mm,
had an amazing, like little girls do a lemonade stand and
yeah.
raise money, and then the community comes forward. It's like it is amazing when you see the children follow through with what their parents do to show,
Yeah.
I don't care if it's 5 pennies that they give from their allowance
But it's
to,
teaching. It is
it is
teaching
teaching.
your values to
Exactly.
everybody. So many of you may know, but you may not. So I'm going to give you the 5 T's, right?
Okay. Hmm.
5 T's. So time,
Hmm.
treasure,
Hmm.
testimony, ties, and I always leave one off. Um, we'll come up with it. The,
You'll
the
think of it.
editors will put it up there. Okay.
Hmm.
So time. If I teach people, young people, I said, you don't have money, don't volunteer. Volunteer. Go do something, pack some
Yes.
boxes, do something, you know, uh, volunteer like the little girls with their lemonade stand, right?
Yes.
So you can
Yes.
give your time, you can give your treasure. Okay, that's the, money, but so many people think money and oh my gosh, it's not just about the money. Do you have a low cost basis, highly appreciated asset, right? You bought Apple stock for $16 a share and now it's worth gazillions. You can sell that. And instead of getting killed with capital gains, you get all that as a write-off, right? So there's lots, yeah. So there's time, there's treasure, there's talent. So I'm a financial planner. I give workshops on how to give money to charities so that hopefully people give more, right? So time, treasure, talent, testimony. What has it done for you? That's you, right? You're giving people your testimony with you and Shane and what this has meant to you since 2006 when he got injured, right? And
Mhm.
ties, so I try to get people together, right? That's the purpose of this podcast. You guys are my
Mhm.
ties, right? You watch
Mhm.
this and it's like, hey, have you heard of Wounded Warriors? So the way we started this project is for 3 different people, sets of people. One, those who need help, right? You guys have heard about my Jared. He needed help. We didn't know Wounded Warriors can help. So very number one, this is for those who need help to show you that you may not think that Wounded Warriors could help you, but guess what? This is how they do. And Cindy's going to tell us all about that,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
Those
Yes.
who give help, right? Wounded Warriors Project. I want to give the word out, spread the word that this
Mhm.
is, you see them on bulletin boards, but you don't know what they do. This is what
Mhm.
they do, right? So
Yes.
those who need help, those who give help, and those who help the helpers. And that's like my clients or other financial planners. If you have clients, call me. We want to get the word out, but we need to fund you guys so you can actually do the work, right? So
Mhm.
you got the 5 T's, right? I remembered all 5 as we started talking.
That's
Okay, so
good.
yeah. So how would, like, just some of you may not know. So my Jared, he was an 11-year warrior. He worked with, he was in the Air Force and he came home with horrible, horrible, horrible PTSD. And we lost him in 2021. And I mentioned to him, right? Because moms, right? Cindy, it's like, how can we help our kids? So I said, what about Wounded Warriors? And he says, Mom, I have all my limbs. What would they do for me? Well, you guys have wonderful PTSD programs, right?
Yes. Yes.
So if after this conversation, somebody says, well, maybe for my kid, I should contact Wounded Warriors, or maybe the warriors saying, maybe I could do this, or whatever. How would they even get a hold of you?
Yeah, that's a great question. When you say when you brought the fact that Jared said, I have all my limbs, most warriors or military and families don't understand. Wounds are not only physical.
Yeah,
And I think not only Jared, but my son Shane is a fine example of that. Yeah, my son lost both his legs above the knees. You see that. You see that. That's not the fight. The fight is what you see is the invisible wounds of their memory and the traumatic event from the war events that they were involved in, and the guilt and the survivor's guilt. That's the fight. That's the fight that my son had to deal with, the invisible brain injury that
yeah,
nobody could see. Those are where the fight is deeply embedded.
and
So
still fighting that
how,
fight.
absolutely, to this
Shane is
day,
still alive, thank God,
he
but he
is,
still
and
fights it.
he still fights it every single day. But how does somebody access that for help? Even
Yes.
though they say, "Oh, I have all my limbs, I don't have any burns." I have so many warriors that come up and say that to me, and I'm saying, "Wait a minute, stop right there. You raised your hand to serve this country, to protect us.
Yep.
You follow that mission and that right that you wanted to serve and make a difference.
Right.
You have earned, you have earned every bit, and so is your family, to be a part of a nonprofit organization that will help you in many ways, not only you, but your family. Yes, you may have all your limbs, and yes, you may have no physical, but that doesn't mean you don't have the invisible wounds that you need help. And that's what we do. That's what
Yes.
we're good at. We provide those free programs and services to any warrior post 9/11. Even now, we've opened it up to the active duty.
Oh, do
Active
you?
duty.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. We have opened that up now. And all they need to do is provide the documentation they are active.
Yeah.
For post 9/11 warriors, they have to have a DD 213 to show, that they have served. And
Hmm.
these programs and services that you register online, you can go to our website, woundedwarriorproject.org, or you can call to register at a resource center. And I can give that number to Patti. She can post that. I
We're
mean, I
gonna
can give
we're
it.
gonna have it at the bottom
Yes, ma'am.
underneath you.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
that's
And
what
all free
editors
to
will
join.
do for me.
That's the best part.
I
But
can't
all
do
free.
it.
There's no charge. You warriors and their
Oh,
families have
okay. Wait a
already
minute.
paid
There's
the
no
price.
charge.
No,
There's
ma'am.
no charge.
No, ma'am. They have paid the price already. They
Yeah.
raised their hand to serve our country. They do not, they do not have to
See,
pay
that's
anything.
amazing. I think a lot of people feel, one, if they can't work anymore or they don't want to be a burden to their family or whatever, they
Mhm.
think that it's too expensive. So that is very, very important. I want everybody to hear that.
Yes, ma'am.
There's no charge for these services. No
Correct.
charge. They're
Yes.
available. They're available. So tell me, what kinds of services do you provide?
We provide mental health care for
Yeah,
those wounds that are invisible.
right.
We have partnered with world-renowned medical facilities across the United States with our Warrior Care Network. That's just one program.
Oh,
One.
wait a
There's
minute. So
many others.
that's another very good point. People don't have to travel to these. They're local. Am
Oh,
I right?
actually, it depends on where they live and what type of care that they are
Okay.
seeking or in need, but
Okay.
they may have to travel. And
Oh,
if they
okay.
fit the criteria to fulfill that Warrior Care Network, then, that's all through the Resource Center. And then once they register online, then they can get in contact and figure out, plug in those programs and services that will work for them. But in some cases, they may have to travel. That Warrior
Okay.
Care Network is a 2 week and sometimes longer outpatient therapy that helps with not only um, the invisible wounds, but we have
Yeah.
now opened that up to military sexual trauma,
Wow.
post-traumatic stress disorder, traumatic
Yeah.
brain injury. I mean,
Yeah.
there's more. I could go. We can do another whole segment, but let me go forward with this so that I don't miss
Sure.
anything. So
No,
not
go.
only the mental part, but the physical wellness. We all know that that ties in together with mental, with the physical. We have adaptive sports. We have physical health and wellness coordinators that help warriors, whether virtually online or doing events. Also career counseling, very important, Patty,
Oh,
to get
there
our
you
warriors
go.
back out in their community and further that for financial wellness.
Oh my
So
gosh,
there's a
I didn't know about that.
huge program, yes. And benefits guidance. I have on our team where I'm from in Ohio, the most amazing benefit liaisons that know they are truly talented. They know so much about helping our warriors with through benefit guidance and peer support. How
Yeah,
important is peer? You and I are now peers, Patty.
I know. I know.
We have made a connection, and that
Uh-huh.
connection is vital. Just as our warriors and our caregivers and their families need that connection.
Uh-huh.
That connection helps us build trust and to heal.
Uh-huh.
That's what all this is about. So, I mean, I can go on more and more. There's so much more to this,
Well,
but the
share,
best
share
way
whatever you'd like to.
is to go on our website, woundedwarriorproject.org.
Okay.
That you can open up the doors to a numerous amount of support that we can help. We now have a WWP Talk app on their phone. When they uh, become an alumni, they can do that on their phone. They download the app and then it shows all the different events and support in their area, or if they want to travel, they can go, um, to that event. Sometimes they fill up quickly because they're so popular, but the point is that it's out there. It's out there for that support.
Yeah.
And not only that, the most important part to this is our resource center. Our resource center has thousands upon thousands of resources across the nation to help not only our alumni, but any military, any any branch, including their families. They can access that resource center to find those resources in their area in need. That is so vital because, let's face it, Wounded Warrior Project can't do it all.
Yeah.
We can't. That's being totally honest. But what we can do is help other VSOs, other veteran service organizations, and plug in those resources to
Uh-huh.
help be stronger. And that's what a resource center
So
does.
tell me, because unfortunately, so many of our warriors have committed suicide and they leave behind a horrible, tragic, broken-hearted family. Does Wounded Warriors help with the families of people who have committed
Absolutely.
suicide? No kidding.
Absolutely. And again, what we do is we find the resources that are most appropriate for where you live. The Gold Star moms. It's
Yeah.
very vital. And there's other, I'm not the one that goes into specifics because that's not my era, but
Yeah.
that is exactly where we provide the support with our resource center. And once the family is online and figures out, what is the need, the most important need,
Yeah.
that's what we do. That's what we do.
So it helps the warrior and family while they are affected but still living. It helps the families who have been their warrior was killed in action,
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
and
ma'am.
then helps the families that the warriors died after being discharged.
Yes, ma'am. And can I add something to that, Patty?
Yeah, sure.
I'm bringing out, I want to make sure because our CEO is retired Lieutenant General Walt Pyatt,
Hmm.
who is who's also in the past has served in Iraq and Afghanistan. So he knows firsthand of what it
Sure.
means when our warriors are wounded or when we lose warriors.
Yeah.
And I want to um, I want to kind of go over what, and maybe in some cases I can quote him, but back when Shane, let me back up. When Shane was wounded in '06, we did not have staff in Landstuhl, Germany. We're in the Middle East. What's going on is happening.
Yes.
Wounded. Unfortunately, we've lost. our service members.
Yes.
Back when Shane was wounded, we did not have staff in Landstuhl, Germany. We do now. We have dedicated staff that are on standby. And once they are acknowledged that we have somebody that's been wounded or have been in that position, they are there standing by ready as they enter Landstuhl if they need help in
Now
any way, even if it's
explain
not.
to people who don't know,
Mhm.
what is this place you're talking about?
Landstuhl is the military base that we bring back the wounded that have survived, that we contain them, stabilize them before they bring them back to stateside, depending on the severity of the wounds. Now, with Shane, that's what happened with him. He was so severe. He was wounded in Iraq, Baghdad, Tash, stabilized him, brought him to Landstuhl. Then that's where we have staff now, which I would
Yeah.
have given anything to have staff there. I
Oh
had
my
an Army
gosh.
liaison, but it would have been a little more, I think, a little more, what's the right word? I don't know. Just safety, trust. I don't know because I was in a country I'd never been to,
Yeah.
but I
And
happen to know.
reminders, Cindy is a registered nurse.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
So
ma'am.
think about this. Her son is
Yes,
wounded and now
yes,
transferred to someplace that she's not familiar with, but
correct.
she's a registered nurse. So she knows enough to know just how dangerous all this is. Not that
Yes,
if you're
ma'am.
not a nurse, it's not tragic and horrible as well, but I'm just
Yeah,
trying to give you a picture of Cindy here.
yes. But now we have one particular teammate. Her name's Christy. Shout out to Christy in Germany. We love you. Um, she's amazing. Our staff there would be right there at their side to help with the family and that warrior to make sure that they know they're not alone. And that's the mission, to honor and empower wounded warriors, to make
I
sure
love
that we're
that.
there for you. So just keep that in mind as we speak. Yeah, they stand by and
So
they're ready.
tell me a little bit more. You mentioned Shane going to Germany. How has Wounded Warriors helped you and Shane?
Oh my gosh, from day one. Okay, we didn't have staff then, but as soon as we got to stateside and Shane was transferred to the Walter Reed Army Medical Center, the old Walter Reed, which it's
Hmm.
morphed into something different now. We had another Army liaison be right there with us because of the nature of the injury was so severe. But I couldn't believe when Wounded Warrior Project came in. We didn't know who they were. There were two gentlemen, and they
Yeah.
came in and they offered anything that we needed. Is there anything you need that we can get you? And here's a backpack filled with comfort items. As they do in Launchstool, they give that backpack with comfort items and clothing that they may need. But had no idea the
Hmm.
ramifications of what that meant. I thought, oh, how nice. They're
Yeah.
supportive. But till he was actually sent to another facility in Minneapolis, Minnesota, they sent a wounded warrior to show Shane. Look at me. Look what I can do. Her name was Melissa Stockwell. She was an officer who lost her leg all the way up to the hip, showing Shane, look at what I can do now. This can be you. Push forward. Again,
Yeah.
from leaving there to Brooke Army Medical Center. Again, staff. Um, one staff member who had no arm would show up every day when Shane was working out. Look, I'm here for you. Is there anything your mom or you need? Constant support. And then we came
Oh,
home. That's where the complete transformation, because by then I was quite wore out. Yes,
sure.
I know he could do things for himself, but I did the medication, all of the VA appointments, all of the anything to do to keep him engaged where he wouldn't shut himself in the room and go
Yeah.
down that dark hole. I tried everything, no matter what. You
Of
understand
course.
that, Patty. I don't
I
have to
do.
tell you. It was nothing but a struggle till Wounded Warrior Project came at that kitchen table next to me, brought in with the Independence Program. They had a contractor come in and work with Shane to get him out of the community and give him purpose. And that was the whole
Oh,
thing, finding purpose in a dark time.
I had
He
no
ended up.
idea how comprehensive you guys are. And I wish I knew. I wish I knew.
Oh, me too, Patty.
I
I'm
wish I knew.
so sorry.
But yeah,
I'm so sorry.
I know. I know.
As a mom, my heart just gets so heavy for all the moms out there. You
Well,
and
and
when it
that's the
continues.
reason
Yeah.
we have this broadcast
Yes.
to
Yes.
help the other moms, help the other warriors, help the
Yes.
wives of the
The
warriors,
families, the wives, the
sisters,
kids. Yes.
everybody. Yeah, the kids, everything.
Yes.
Well, tell me about the kids. What do you do for the kids of the warriors?
Oh,
Do you have
they do
something
a
for
lot of
them?
support. They connect with the resources that are available for children,
Yes.
especially in areas that you live. Camp Corral, we know at Camp Corral. We send,
No idea.
warrior
What's that?
children to help those who have military wounded, or in some cases they've lost their parent, and take them to a camp, and they all work together
That's awesome.
and figure out ways to overcome that pain and know that
Yeah.
they're not alone, just like caregivers. Sometimes we isolate ourselves. We don't know that there's others like us out there that deal
We
with the
don't know
same
what
thing
we
as
don't
well as
know,
children.
period.
Correct,
Right?
correct.
We
Yeah.
don't know.
Also, Patty, the family events that Wounded Warrior holds. Shane and his wife and my two grandsons are part of that. They do
Oh,
Christmas parties where they bring the whole family in and they do things.
nice.
They get to see Santa and gifts, things just to bring them all together, is the most important part.
Right.
The other thing is we had an adaptive sport kind of gathering where the children were invited. And of course, with my son and grandsons, they love fishing. Well,
Yeah.
guess what? They had fishing there.
Oh my
That
gosh.
was the most amazing, to see my grandson, the older one, not
Mm-hmm.
want to leave the site just to go to eat lunch. He was in tears because he had loved it so much that they
Oh,
could throw that fishing pole out, and every time they pulled it up, there was a fish on it. And along with Shane with his dad. Those
yeah.
are the types of things for children that we show that, yeah, they're a part. They had horseback riding. Uh, the older one didn't want a horseback. He wanted to fish. The 3-year-old
Okay.
was too afraid of him. But a lot of the children got on horses.
Yeah.
Things of that nature, just all bringing together to let them know that, you know, we're all in this together. We'll
I always
heal
thought you were
together.
wonderful. Now I believe you're much more wonderful than
Uh,
I mentioned.
no, it's not me. It's everybody as a whole. You too, Patty. Look what you're doing. Look what
Oh,
you're
you're kind.
doing. Yeah.
Hey, I need to jump off of this,
Yes, ma'am.
but Cindy, I so appreciate your time with us, and I can't wait to get this broadcasted out. Put it, everybody, you see this, send it to everybody because people need to know this information. It could change their lives, right?
Absolutely. And I
So,
hope this snowballs into something even bigger and let everybody know, we're here for you. That's what
yes.
this is all about.
Love you,
Thank you,
Cindy.
Patty. Thank you so much. Bye.
Okay. Bye, everybody.
Thank you so much for listening to My Friends in Philanthropy. If you'd like to learn more about any of the organizations or services we've talked about, visit myfriendsinphilanthropy.com. You'll find all the links and all the details there or in the description below. If you or someone you know needs support, please don't hesitate to reach out. And if you're in a position to give, consider donating or volunteering. Your generosity truly makes a difference. I'm Patti Parker, and I can't wait to share more inspiring stories with you next time.